Friends, this is Srinivas, Assistant Professor from CS Department. Today we are going to discuss the applet and swing concept from the Java subject. So applet is a uh, programming one of the application development. So Java considered two types of application programming. One is purely application development, and second one is applet programming. So coming to the applet programming, applet is a GUI application development. Means that whatever the application which is developed in applet programming, it can be run on browser. Okay, so nothing but we can develop the any application on applet program. It can be executed through the network. So see the definition. An applet is an application designed to be transmitted over the internet and executed by a Java compatible web browser. Means any browser like Internet Explorer or Chrome or any browser, it can be supported. And applet is a dynamic download across in the network. Means you can access anyway, like images, sound files and video clips. And applet programming cannot execute it individually like ordinary program, Java program. So it should be embedded with HTML source code and then execute in the web page. So we'll see in future how to write the HTML code and everything. And applets are not allowed to read or write to the local disk, because they obviously be risk, because they destroy any stored data on the device. So it is a security point of view. The applets cannot read or write the local disk information. The user can interact with the information, input the information, and it can be transmitted over the net. That's all only. And coming to the applet hierarchy, so applets can be implemented like this. So first, the object class, the basic fundamental package, java.language.object. And second one, Java AWT component package. You know, everybody in the component GUI components like button and everything. And next is a container. You know, the container panel, frame or anything. And Java.AWT panel. And finally we have a applet. So this is the hierarchy of applet class in the Java language package. And next, applet having execution is something like a thread life cycle. Because so the user may stop the execution of the web browser, or maybe he can supply the information and again he can execute the page, or maybe he can click for the next page or something like. So that it follows a one life cycle. So in the applet life cycle, mainly we have a certain methods called init method one is, and next one is start method, and next one is paint method, and stop method, and destroy method. These are the 5 fundamental methods used in applet lifecycle automatically. Because once an applet is loaded, means any browser, first you can enter the that particular file name automatically in a particular browser. So applet is going to be loaded. What happened in loaded? That is the born state. Nothing but we say it is a born state. In born state, mean how to it is start the application using init method, because applet class cannot have the main method. So that reason, the whatever the any applet program will be start from the execution from init method. So in the init method, it initialize the process. So that means whatever the initialization, nothing but it is similar to constructor. So whatever the basic representations like background color or foreground color or something you need, we can add in the init method. Once init method is started, parallelly start method as well as the paint method is going to be executed. So in start method, parallelly it is executing the paint method some continuous manner. In start method, so always the execution will be start. Suppose for example you are open a web browser, maximize the web browser, so it is started the application execution. Suppose if you minimize it, it is stop the execution. So that is a start and stop. means we minimize the browser, that means it is stop method is executed. When you maximize the browser, it executes the start method. In meanwhile, in between these two start and stop method, some content is going to be displayed on the web page. How to display them, whatever the content in the web page, using paint method. Using paint method, the information is going to be display on the web page content. Okay, that is the paint method always. And once you stop the execution, so automatically it leads to the destroy the method. So these are the fundamental methods which are used in applet lifecycle. So born state, running state, ideal state, and dead state. So here we are using a born point of init method, parallel start method, and paint method, and start method, again stop method, and dead method. And again we will discuss more about this. So initialize the applet using init method, start the applet using start method, stop the applet using stop method, destroy the applet using destroy method. And the initialization and destroying occurs only once. So once initialized and once we destroy the application, but starting and stopping the applet occurs every time the user returns to or leaves the applet page. And it means always the whatever the interactions, based on the interactions, the starting the applet or stop the applet. And next, the methods of applet class responsible for the actions are init, start, stop, and destroy. So once we initialize the applet class, automatically all those methods are executing. And next, these methods are not called directly by the applet, but by the applet context to control the applet. The applet has to override these methods to implement the required behavior. And see more information about init method. This method called once by the applet context to inform the applet that it has been loaded into the system. And this allows followed by the calls to start and paint method. This call sequence gives to the applet the opportunity to initialize, start up, and display itself on the screen. And the init method serves the same purpose as a constructor, and an applet should override this method to perform any initialization. So we already discussed about this. And coming to the start, the applet context calls this method for the first time after calling the init method, and thereafter every time the applet page is made visible. After the start method, the web page is going to be visible. So and this gives the applet the opportunity to start or continue its execution. The applet must to override this method if it is wants to any operation performed each time the applet page is visited. So always we are minimized or maximized, or we are giving some inputs, and every time the start method always is going to be executed. Coming to the void method, so we already discussed. The applet context call this method when it wants to applet to stop executing. This method is called when the applet is no longer visible. Simply we say the example for this one. Suppose you already open a one page, we minimize it. So it is nothing but when the stop method is executed, nothing is going to be visible in that time. And this method I also called just before the applet is to be destroyed. And coming to the void destroy method, the applet context call this method to inform the applet that it should be relinquish and system resource that has to be allocated. So whatever the resources allocated to view the page or applet, so all the resources are going to be destroyed in this point of view. And we'll discuss the program on this in next session. All resources are destroyed when the browser is terminates. So this is the regarding applet lifecycle. So understand applet lifecycle having a certain levels, like start the applet, stop running the running state, ideal state, and stop state, and dead state, like thread concept. Okay. And coming to the applet lifecycle methods, the applet class extends the panel method. It defines the init, start, stop, and destroy method that are used to manage the applet lifecycle. Understand? And along with this methods, we have another methods like init method, start method, destroy, stop, and set document based method. That this is used to set the URL, and set code based URL, and get applet context. And if you want to set an image on your page, set image, get parameters, and show status something. We have a few more methods which are used in applet programming, and also you can supply the information using get parameter method also. And coming to the creation of an applet, how to create an applet program. See, all applets are subclass of applet class. So applet class is already defined, and applet class is contained in the java.applet package. So we just extend that one, and in this applet program we using a paint method. Actually it is going to display the whatever the result on the screen. So this is very important in this applet programming. And coming to how to display that information on the screen, nothing but a web page, using graphic class it is going to be used in this paint method as a parameter. So the graphic class is imported from the Java AWT package. See the syntax, for basic syntax for this paint method: public void paint graphics G, and whatever the content you have write in this, and void draw string message into something you can write in the method. So this is the way we are going to implement the applet. Simply first you create one applet class, subclass of applet class. So already the applet class is coming from applet package, and next whatever the content we are going to display on the screen using a paint method. So this is the syntax for the paint method and everything. And next more about the paint method. The paint method is defined in AWT and must be overridden by the applet. And the paint is used to an applet to display the information on the screen. The paint is called each time that the applet must redisplay its output. Let me when you click on new page is loaded, every time the paint method is going to be loaded. So that is the information regarding to the paint method. And coming to the how to run the applet method, this is a very important task in this. So there are two ways to run the applet, because the applet cannot have the main method. So that how to run the application? So using two ways to execute this applet program. One is executing an applet within a Java compatible web browser, such as Internet Explorer or Netscape or Chrome or anything. So that the whatever the application we are already prepared, that class file should be embedded with the HTML program. So that is something like, say, applet code Java class file. Java class file means your applet class program, and width and height, the width and height of the page and applet. So this code can be embedded in the HTML program. So simply we write one HTML code, and in that we can add this code and run the HTML program. So automatically your applet program is going to be executed. And second one is in our JDK point of view, Java JDK point of view, applet viewer is a one command which is also used to display your applet program. Simply we write to execute the applet. Simply we write applet viewer and your Java file name. So this is the way we are going to be run your applet program. This is two ways. One is using HTML code. We can add in HTML code separate file and we can run it. And second one is using applet viewer, which is available in a Java standard JDK, Java development kit, which is available applet viewer, and directly we can execute this one. This one is very fast compared to HTML program. And next, these are the example programs for first one. See, import java.applet package and import java.AWT graphics. The graphics package, graphics class, which is used in paint method. So that we are imported that. And our class name is public class first. Our class name first and extends applet. In that we write public void paint graphics G begin g.string welcome 150. So this is the first a small example for applet program. And next coming to the once you compile this one, you are getting a first.class file, and after that we can create one more file using first.html. In that we simply write HTML body and applet code is equal to first.class. So your class name and width is equal to 300, height is equal to 300, and you can close all the HTML tags. Then once you run the HTML program, automatically your application is going to be execute. This is the first model. And coming to the second model, this is very simple. So in this also see public class first extends applet, public wide paint graphics G and whatever the code as it is, and within your application you just add a one code within that applet code first class first dot class with 300 height and just close it and go to the command line and we just write a applet viewer, give it the first dot class, so automatically your class is going to be executed. So this is the way we are working with the applet programming. So this is the way we are going to develop the applet AWT application program. And also you can supply the parameters to the applet also from outside. So how to submit, you can using a one param tag in HTML. So using param tag you can supply the elements to the HTML applet program using HTML document. See, this is the basic syntax for param tag. Param name equal to parameter name and value is equal to text value. So whatever the value we are going to supply to your application program, we can supply. And within your applet program, you are going to be using get parameter method. So using that get parameter method, we are get the whatever the value we are given in text value. Okay. And suppose if the text value may be numeric or boolean values, you should be converted into string representation. So that is the another usage of applet program. You can supply the elements from outside using param tag. And next, what is the major difference between applet application? Most of the interview or maybe in examination point of view, this is important question. And applet versus application. See, so the first one is applets are not full featured programs. Why? Because it is not having main method. So it should be accomplished with a small task. Only small tasks they are going to be prepared. It doesn't have any full compatible application. Coming to the application programming, applications are full featured programs. So and next coming to the applet do not use the main method. So already we discussed. So that it is going to be executed using initializing the execution of a program. But coming to the application program, it uses the main method to run the execution. We start the execution. And coming to the applets cannot run independently. So that it should be run with the web page using HTML language. And coming to the application can run at local system command prompt. And that is the application. And coming to the applet point of view, applets cannot read from or write to the files in the local computer. But coming to the application, it can read or write or to the files into the local computer. And the next one is applets cannot communicate with other servers on the network, but applications can communicate with any other server on the network. And applets cannot read local system properties. Application can read local system properties. So these are the major differences between applet and application programs. So that is about applet programming, and so I think we are understood. And coming to the next, the similar topic, Java Swings concept. So it is also Java Swings also same Java Swing concept also used to develop the GUI applications. So applet is also going to be develop the window based application. Swing is also going to be used to develop the window based application. Okay. So what is the major difference between these two, applet and swings? We'll discuss at the end of this session. And first we talk about the what is the basic what is swing and what is the swing. Java Swing is a part of Java Foundation class that is used to create window based applications. Okay, it is also built in top of AWT API and entirely written in Java. So that is the first most important point. Entirely written in Java, but coming to the applet, it is not entirely in Java. So we'll discuss the difference at the end of the session. And coming to the another point, unlike AWT, Java Swing provides platform independent lightweighted components. This is another point compared to applet programming. So applet is also going to be designed the window based applications and AWT applications. Swing also going to be used to AWT application, but there is a major difference between these two. So Swing can provide platform independent, whereas and also lightweighted components. But whereas the applet program, it is different. So we'll discuss. And next term, so the Java X Swing package provides a class for Java using API such as J button, J text field, J text area, J radio button, and etc. So actually, in Applet we have only button class and text class, because button, text area or text field are AWT components. Whereas coming to the J button means Java extended package. So Java extended package which is especially used for AWT applications. So that is introduced in a Swing concept. And this is the hierarchy of Swing concept. So it is also same. See, object package component. In this component we have a container J component. One more new one is. So coming to left part, window, panel, applet. So everything is same. But coming to the J component point of view, Java components, nothing but you say J means Java component, Java extended package it is. So in that Java label, J list, J table, J combo box, J slider, J menu, abstract button, J button, something like. So this is the new, and I mean it is some new idea. We are developing the AWT applications using Java extended library called Java X. See, what are the common methods which are used in this Swing concept? Here we use a public void add method, and public void set size method, and public void set layout method, and public void set visible method. So almost it is similar to the applet and as well as AWT application, but it is having some advantages. So this is a simple example program. See, import Java X.Swing. X means extended package, and public class first Swing example. So the major difference we find now in applet there is no main, but coming to the Swing it is having a main. See, next one, public static void main string args, and it doesn't follow any life cycle. So here we are using a frame, but what frame it is? J frame. Java frame it is going to be used, but whereas applet it is using a frame, it is coming from AWT package. Because components which are coming from the AWT, they are some heavy weighted, nothing but you say some heavy weighted, because it is some different code. But coming to the J frame, it is related to Java code. So using Java code, we can develop the frame, J button, their button can be created in some other code. It is in some new to code related to, it is not related to Java program. But coming to the J button, it is the J button which is developed in Java language only. So that is the major difference. And next we see J button be equal to new J button. Nothing is there is no difference when you develop the application using applet or Swing. Everything is same, but we are using always some J button, J text stream, something like. See, B dot set bounds. We are using x axis, y axis, and width and height. And next f dot add b, and we can add that button to the frame. And we are using set size, the window size, the frame size, and set layout is equal to null. We are not, right now we are not going to use any layout. And finally we can use set visible, because AWT application by default it is false, they cannot visible. Once you set a true, then only they can be visible. So this is a simple application. I think like an order application, we can compile and run it, that's it. So your Swing application is going to be executed. So this is the major advantage of Swing concept. So understand, I think everybody. And Java button, for example, you execute one more, already action listener in button class. AWT application we already worked on. Okay, see the example program for J button with the action listener. So java.awt event. Why event? Event means action listener. So and Java X Swing concept, public class button example, and public static void main string method, and J frame is equal to frame you are considered, and text field is here considered, and we can set a bounds to the text field, and J button we are created here, and set bounds to the button, and add the action listener. Everybody listeners. So whenever we can click on mouse, the particular action is going to be executed. Here we are adding the b dot add action listener, new action listener, public void action performed action event ts set text welcome to Java. We are going to display once you click on button. welcome to Java is going to be displayed on the text field. So that is your concept. So this is very simple. I think you will understand. Already you are aware of AWT programs. Okay. So this is the way we are going to be work with the Swing concept. So nothing is different compared to Applet and Swing. So the Applet is a separate package which is not developed under Java programming. But coming to the Swing concept, Java Swing concept is Java extended package. So whatever the AWT components we are using in Swing concept, which are developed in Java, but coming to the Applet, Applet is also Java programming, but they are not the components which are working on that those are all coming from AWT package. So that is the major difference. Okay, and next we are going to discuss the difference between one of the most interview question. Most of the interviews the interviewer can ask what is the difference between Applet and Swing. This is a major important question in the view of examination point of view also. So first the first point coming to the Applet and Swing concept, both are going to use it for GUI application development. Means nothing but we are going to develop some window based application development, graphical user interface. Okay, so Swing is also used for GUI application development, and also Applet is also going to be used for GUI application development. But the difference between Applet and Swing is, in coming to the Applet point of view, it is run by another technology. So it is not independently it is going to be executed. So it should be embedded with HTML program, then only it is going to be executed in a compatible browsers. So that means we develop an application Applet program, again it is going to be embedded with an HTML program, then only it is going to be executed. So that is the regarding to the Applet. And one more thing, coming to the Applet point of view, Swing point of view. In Swing you cannot create any application to run the Swing concept. It is automatically executed. By default it is executed because it is developed purely on Java standards, like Java extended package, so that we no need to add any application to run the Swing concept. We directly execute that like an application program, Java application program, like an ordinary console application. The same similar way where Swing program is also going to be executed. And coming to the third difference between Applet and Swing, Applet components are operating system dependents. So please understand this one. Applet components are operating system dependents. Means that suppose you are working on Windows, so that suppose a button or a text box or a text field or anything which are taking from the Windows OS, like native code, which is going to be use a Windows native code to visible the particular components. It means in Windows generally C#.NET the components are developed in window based application like Windows operating system, so that when you run the Applet program on window based application, it can be used those resource, that native resource it is going to be used in your application. Or you can use suppose Linux operating system, the Linux is developed under C language, so that C native program is going to be used to display those components, so that whatever the operating system we are running on Applet, so the internal native code is going to used to display those contents. But coming to the Swing concept, it can run by the JVM, and the whatever the components which are used in Swing concept developed in Java language only, so that Java language components, so that Swing components are light weighted, whereas Applet components are heavy weighted. So you just imagine that only. Okay, yeah, it is light weighted base. They are already in Java, button in Java, text box in Java, text area. So that is extended package, Java's extended package. Those components are developed. But coming to the Swing Applet programming, it can be used from AWT, and once whenever we are executing that Applet program, it can be used that native code of particular operating system. so that it will take some little bit and means the shape outs, like for example you are viewing one applet application program in Windows is one different style and Linux is some different style. But coming to the you are developing any application in a swing concept, whatever the operating system it is, so the view of the particular application is always same. So that is the major difference between applet and swing concept. Please remember this. There are some, both are used for GUI application programming, but applet can run with another technology called HTML, but swing cannot like this. So we can directly execute because Java extended package it is, it can be run by JVM only. And applet components are operating system dependent, whereas swing concepts are not depending on any other not depending on operating system, because they are developed on Java extended package. So this is the difference between applet programming, swing concept. Okay, so I think everybody understood. Okay, if